In what was once the ancient and sacred city of Abydos, there stands a temple dating to around 1280 BC that was begun by King Seti I and completed by his son, Ramesses II. Dedicated to many of ancient Egypt's principal deities, the temple itself is a masterpiece of Egyptian art that, despite its ruined state, continues to dazzle visitors even today. Yet, within a corridor on the temple's left side lies one of the most important reliefs in all of Egyptology, and archaeology more broadly, the Abydos King List. Compiled by the scribes of Seti I, the Abydos King List begins with a cartouche bearing the name of Meni, the ruler whom the ancient Egyptians credited with unifying Upper and Lower Egypt into a single kingdom around 3000 BC. His true identity remains a subject of debate, though most Egyptologists associate him with the historical figure Narmer, whose existence is well attested. Although Meni's name didn't appear in a cartouche for the next 1500 years, many scholars believe that Meni was the name later Egyptians may have used for Narmer. However, they also recognize that kingship didn't begin with Meni. One example comes from a fragmentary stela known today as the Palermo stone, which lists at least 9 rulers predating Egypt's unification, some depicted wearing the crown of Lower Egypt, followed by others wearing the crown of Upper Egypt. Since as of now, no archaeological evidence has been found to confirm their existence, many Egyptologists believe these early figures were likely mythical rather than historical. For the period considered historical, the Palermo stone provides a year-by-year record, listing rulers' names alongside brief notes on significant events and the height of the Nile's annual flood. The list on the Palermo stone ends during Egypt's 5th dynasty, which may have been when it was created. In addition to the names recorded on the Palermo stone, Egyptologists have uncovered those of several other early rulers who governed parts of Egypt before its unification under Narmer, or Meni. These kings belong to the period modern scholars call Dynasty 0, an era when various regional leaders began consolidating power, competing for dominance, and laying the groundwork for Egypt's political unification. Unlike the kings recorded on later lists, such as the Abydos King List or the writings of Manetho, these rulers are known primarily from archaeological evidence, such as artifacts from tombs or barely legible inscriptions discovered at various sites in the desert. Let's take a look at 3 of the more mysterious kings belonging to Dynasty 0. Ample evidence for a king, known simply as Ka, has been found at the el-Ka'ab cemetery within the ancient and sacred city of Abydos, including syrinx painted on pottery. The extent of Ka's rule remains uncertain, but his name has been discovered as far away as the town of Lod in modern-day Israel. This likely reflects trade between Upper Egypt and the Levant, rather than any political control over the region. Ka is thought to have reigned sometime between 3200 and 3100 BC. Beyond this, little else is known about him. In 1899, the tomb of an individual whose name is now read as Iry-Hor was discovered in the royal cemetery at Abydos. Although Flinders Petrie, who first uncovered the name and initially read it as King Ro, many Egyptologists were skeptical, suggesting instead that Iry-Hor may have been a high-ranking official, or even a servant or slave. However, excavations over the past few decades have uncovered further evidence supporting his royal status. Additions to his tomb at Abydos, giving it a layout similar to other royal burials, have further strengthened the case. Today, most Egyptologists regard Iry-Hor as a king, perhaps even the earliest historical king of Egypt. He likely lived around 3200 BC or slightly later, and may have been the predecessor of Ka. Another extremely mysterious figure is known to us simply as Crocodile. His existence is debated, and his Sirek, written in cursive ink on 2 stone jars found at the cemetery of Tarkhan in Middle Egypt, has been interpreted in various ways. Flinders Petrie, who first discovered the jars, read one Sirek as Ka and the other as Narmer. Egyptologist Peter Kaplony attributed them to King Scorpion. It was Gunter Dreyer who identified the names on both jars as belonging to a ruler he called Crocodile. Dreyer proposed that Crocodile may have been a contemporary of Narmer, and possibly one of the local kings defeated by him during Egypt's unification. Beyond this, little else is known, or can even reliably be hypothesized, about this shadowy, and perhaps non-existent, king. There are 2 other famous pre-dynastic kings to whom Egyptologists refer to as Scorpion I and Scorpion II, but I'm going to leave them for another video. I'll also put together some short biographies on several other rulers of ancient Egypt, as well as various aspects of Egyptian daily life, society, religion, and a lot more. This channel will soon be your hub for all things with regard to the history of ancient Egypt. Stay tuned and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'd also like to thank the channel's patrons for making videos like this possible. These include, but are certainly not limited to, Grenkek69, Jaap de Graaf, Pasta Frola, Michael Lewis, Daniel Allen, Danny Van Eck, WineXTV, Robert Morgan, Strobex, Frank, Tim Lane, Sebastian Hurtado Correa, Michael Trudell, Leader Titan, Micah G, John Scarberry, Andrew Bomer, Connor Dolson, Krish, David R, Stephen Ball, Gabe, Monty Grimes, Franz Robbins, Cyrus Mir, Dianastra, Nimrod Nir, Hypnosan, Brendan Redman, Faridun Dadachanji, Jimmy Daruwala, Anahita Debu, Gulistan Debu, Sher Kam, Farhad Kama, and all of the channel's patrons on Patreon for helping to support this and all future content. Check out the benefits to being a Patreon member. Feel free to click the link in the video description. You can also follow History with Sai on Instagram, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as continue to listen to special audio programs on the History with Sai podcast. Thanks again, and stay safe.